Yo, they say a picture worth 1,000 words, but I be telling Ross, hey homie, it's worth $1 million now. Nah, they say a picture worth 1,000 words. Hey Ross, this picture here was worth $1 million, man. Send that through. Respectfully too. You know what kind of nigga I am. You getting money like that, you see what I'm going through. Now the new question is will Big Meech sue 50 Cent for damages and also for financial liability as it pertains to the canceled concert? Now this is a loaded topic because we got to deal with Tammy in this topic, not necessarily from her cooperating with the government and if Meech knew about it, but we do have to deal with why she would end up with the life rights. I think that's a legitimate question. How can this lady that just so happened to be cooperating with the government end up with the life rights of a street legend? Because a question I have is, what do you do when a snitch has your life rights? However they got it, right? Let's deal with however they got your life rights. What do you do when a motherfucker that's cooperating now have your life rights? How you wiggle around that? Yo, welcome to It's Up There podcast. I am Big Loon, your active and attractive host for another episode. You know the vibes is high. I want to say thank you for each and every person that clicked on this video. Hit subscribe, hit like, hit share. We have so much to speak about. I'm in good spirits. Hopefully all of you guys are in good spirits. Salute to anyone that watched this. Salute to everyone. My prayers are with the people that are facing turmoil and going through hard times. Know that the test ends up as a testimony. We all go through things. Don't harbor any resentment. Respect the process. For those of you looking, come to patreon.com. It's Up There podcast. That's where the vibes are. Also, I would implore you to grab a membership on YouTube. It does us a great service when we have that type of endorsement from our fans and our supporters and our family and our community. So I want to start there. We're gonna talk about a lot today. I ain't even gonna cap with you. I've been gone. You dig? I feel like, it's a gray area. People, you know what I'm saying? My name is coming up in certain conversations and they still bleeping my name. Like I ain't gonna survive if they mention it. It's gonna help me that much. I think they playing some kind of weird game. We'll get to that a little later in the show. We're gonna talk about Big Meech, 50 Cent, the ongoing feud and beef they have. They've inserted Rick Ross. Of course, he inserted himself. We got Floyd Mayweather, Lil Meech text. We haven't had a chance to speak about any of that. So many different things. Also, Ray J says that his ex-wife has the best head in America. And while that's disrespectful and you don't want to speak about the mother of your children like that, I know what it feel like when you lose one of them motherfucking head monsters. I can't even lie. We're gonna get to that. So again, couple different things. Pod, trade talks. I think this is a niched conversation. Some of you guys may not know, so I'm gonna have to fill you in as to a couple of different podcasters from the WCW were doing what's called a podcast trade talk. And my name came up a couple of times. You'll be interested in knowing where those times were and some of the tactics that are still taking place as I'm 2 or 3 years in with a successful business. You know me, I'm going to put some game down every time I speak about a conversation. Let's talk about the Big Meech situation. Meech has found himself in a very interesting scenario. It's fascinating if you ask me. The last time we were together and you guys were listening, we spoke about Meech, his ability to get out. Of course, they had some alleged paperwork. Again, I have not substantiated any allegations of Big Meech being a rat. I always lead with that because I understand how important legacy is and that people always want to make sure that they're right and on the right side of history. And my word is strong in the ghetto. And it's strong in black culture amongst black men and black boys. And so I don't want to be irresponsible with my platform. Now, with that being said, that does not mean that I'm going to ignore the rumblings and the conversation that is being had by culture. It's just that I won't stamp and approve anything that I haven't verified with my own two eyes, and those that understand how men operate can understand that and respect that. I want to be clear about the third party cooperation. So last time we spoke, I kind of dived into the fact that 50 Cent was emotionally involved in how Meech responded and standing next to Ross, because again, I think Ross knew what he was doing. And I don't say that because I got something against Ross. That's never the scenario. I said because I'm dealing with the information dealt. I always remember when I'm talking, I'm dealing with the cards dealt. I ain't never assuming. Maybe I seen something you didn't see, but anytime I speak, understand I'm speaking with some sort of information. I ain't just willy-nilly. I ain't one of them kind of men. There's a number of reasons why I say Rick Ross know what he was doing, but one was the fact that I looked up and Meech had on a Rick Ross car show shirt. And to me, you a legend. You a legendary nigga. I know what the game is though, right? Meech been paying attention from inside the bars that the picture game is powerful out there on the street. But what I find is doing a disservice to Big Meech's legacy is a rapper can pull up on a street hustler, a nigga that they said was getting 2,500 bricks a month. I just want niggas to be clear to the children, because it's important that black boys understand that when you do get some money in the street, this is how you end up. No disrespect to Meech. I'm saying if we're dealing with his legacy, he shouldn't have to run over there to a nigga like Rick Ross and change his clothes for no motherfucking money. Yeah, now Ross had him in a Rick Ross car show t-shirt, a car show shirt. And it looked like it kind of was too little. But I know what it is. Meech got a 30 for him or something, a 20, 30 for him, something that, you know, he respecting the game. At least Ross pulling up with something on something, so he gonna take the picture. But I think if you ask me, it was a mistake. Meech get out looking for a sequel and got a standoff. And see, this is why I like the rappers that I like. It's only a few rappers, but this is why I like the ones that I like, is because money don't move them like that. Right? I got this information, you know, right after the pandemic. And if you were aware and you were in this business, then you seen, well, right after the pandemic, you just started to see rappers do these drops from just random distros or random t-shirts and random, it would just be random scenarios. And influencers kind of started it, their value being a little bit different than the rapper's value. But the pandemic birthed this engagement endorsement. And so when I first seen it, I've always thought the numbers were off. Because, for example, you'll have a rap dude who, say this rapper A charge you $175,000 for a verse. And then he'll do this drop that's a minute long with not only his voice, but his likeness and a post on his page for 10 grand. I've always said those numbers were off, but that helps me understand that they don't understand where the value lies. The business is structured in a way where they understand the value and the verse being worth 150,000. But on the same side with that same person and that same likeness, they don't understand the value of endorsing this distro or whatever the case may be for this 5 or 10 grand or 2 or 3 bowls or whatever the case may be. And so I saw this when the pandemic was birthed. And so when you look at Meech, what I'm thinking is happening is he comes home and he understands that Ross pulls up on me. Ross probably kicking his high level boss talk shit how he does with his charisma that he got going. And next thing you know, Big Meech got on a car show t-shirt. We're gonna get to 4-2. You know what I'm saying? 4-2 gave Meech some money, they say. And can't nobody feel no way about that. You know, 4-2 is from up that way. They got ties to each other probably down the line. So it's a different scenario. He can honor Meech if he want until he sees some kind of paperwork. Again, for me, I don't know if he read it. And you don't hear me calling Meech a rat. I haven't substantiated the paperwork, but when I see this kind of thing with Ross, when you pull up on Ross, which is, you know, again, the streets, the culture respects Ross hustle. We look at Ross like a supreme hustler. He one of them dudes that know how to get money. But when we think of Meech, when we see Meech run over there and had to put on a car show t-shirt, for me and for hustlers, it looked like a for sale sign. And I don't mean that disrespectful to Meech, but that's what it comes off as. And so as we see it, we knowing that it's a money play. Like all street niggas, they know that this is a money play. Now here's another money play you saw Meech make. And this is why I say that the finances are probably in question. Right before they canceled the show, you saw Meech come out and he said something. And he did a video response to 50 Cent. He didn't say his name. He never said 50's name, but he said, I'm doing this for my family and my friends. I stood tall. I never cooperated and I never will. Such and such and such. Come out to my show. That was his welcome home money from the streets. See, that's what people don't understand. Big Meech was looking at that welcome home concert like his welcome home money from the street. If his name was still good, he was finna meet all them rap niggas. All of them that was groupies were finna hit him with some money, give him some money. He was finna sell out the arena. They were finna make a bag on that. Ain't no telling what kind of connections he would have made that night if everything was just in order. If he took the money, cool. Again, I've always said that Meech is probably looking at all these rappers like, yo, I was a street nigga, a rich nigga before y'all even got money. I had money before Jay-Z. And he see how y'all dudes do about Jay-Z. They kiss the ring when it come to Jay-Z. And he probably thinking, man, I was getting money before he was getting money. I was a hustler when he was just trying to figure it out. So I can see him having some dip on his chip. So if he got some dip on his chip, I don't see him looking at rappers and saying, I'm listening to I Am One of You, nigga. On top of that, let's put in the context that he's probably on some kind of probation, some kind of paperwork where he can't just be wilding out and making threats online and dealing with a nigga big as 50 Cent to go right in the trick bag. Now, I will say this to Meech. Again, with him ratting still being out, the jury is out on that. I'm going to speak to the third party cooperation in just a second. But I will say this to Big Meech. The loud part is over with. It can't get no louder than it's got in the last couple of weeks. Now, he has done some damage to the brand. The brand has been damaged. But you've weathered the storm. The loud part is over. Also, coming out of prison, all you niggas need to know, you niggas with names and flavor about yourself and you think you gonna run into dudes, right? You have to always remember that in this game, people specialize in giving minimal effort for maximum impact. You see that? What's 20, 30 grand to a nigga like Ross can pull up, long as you put this shirt on and I get this picture. If I can get this picture with Big Meech fresh home from jail, 50 been tied in with his son all this time. If I can get this picture, which is worth 30 grand. If you go left, if you never fuck with me or what, this picture right here from me, if I just holler car show this, car show that, is worth 30 grand. Now, he probably didn't think 50 had the influence to affect Meech because it's street legacy versus internet influence and internet power. 50 has a story behind him, but Big Meech has the kind of legacy that's legendary if it didn't have no smut on it. So it's going to be hard to wrestle him down in regards to narrative. But 50 been able to get a hold to it. For him to run over to Ross knew what he was doing. He was maximizing minimal effort for maximum impact. He gave you a shirt, 20, 30 grand. This picture going to ruin everything for you, but it's going to pipe this car show up. Maybe he didn't think it'd go that far, but I would have him on the hook for some money. I would have Ross on the hook, and I say that respectfully. Like, I ain't just trying to, but I push a mean line. Like, you got to ask about it. Like, I'll push a mean line about that. For shit show. Like, if I had came home, dog, and you done cost me an entire situation like that because a picture with you and you knew what it was doing, then why you put the shirt on me? See, if I'm Big Meech, I done start thinking about it. See, I know he's somewhat thinking about it. I done start thinking about that nigga made me put on a car show t-shirt. I'm Big Meech. He knew my son was like, what's up, what's to, bro? That's how I'm thinking. And in the back of Ross' head, he probably thinking cause bro, that's got to be on the table. Like, we can ignore that and act like, yo, man, let's not even, but I don't play them kind of games. Like, let's talk about what really going on. If you asking me, this is my narrative. If I'm Meech, I'm somewhat thinking like, bro had to know what he was doing. Why he put me in a car show t-shirt? What do we really think that the value of this post is? If you done already gave me the money, I appreciate you, my nigga. See you that night. We already got you on the flyer. The 50 Cent nigga, man, is like a cuckoo for Cocoa Puff kind of nigga. We got to be a little bit more considerate of his intellect and his emotional availability to these kind of scenarios. We can't just be obtuse. Like, if we talking about 50, we know we know how he gonna react. And so now Meech knows that, yo, they say a picture worth 1,000 words, but I'll be telling Ross, hey, homie, it's worth $1 million now. Nah, they say a picture worth 1,000 words. Hey, Ross, this picture here was worth $1 million, man. Send that through. Respectfully, too. You know what kind of nigga I am. You getting money like that, you see what I'm going through. Now, the new question is will Big Meech sue 50 Cent for damages and also for financial liability as it pertains to the canceled concert? Now, this is a loaded topic because we got to deal with Tammy in this topic, not necessarily from her cooperating with the government and if Meech knew about it, but we do have to deal with why she would end up with the life rights. I think that's a legitimate question. How can this lady that just so happened to be cooperating with the government end up with the life rights of a street legend? Why not give her the power of attorney? Is it because Meech felt like he would never get out? But even still, with the pressure of feeding your family with a story worth a couple $1 million, maybe if I put it in the right hands, we can get 5 or 10 million from it. But baby, it's a way I can do that without signing the entire rights over to you. I think it's interesting there. It's something to be talked about there. But before I get there, I want to deal with, is there any scenario where Meech can sue for control of his life rights at this point? Because a question I have is, what do you do when a snitch has your life rights? However they got it, right? Let's deal with however they got your life rights. What do you do when a motherfucker that's cooperating now have your life rights? How you wiggle around that? Again, the jury is still out on why she got your life rights, but at this point, I now got to deal with somebody that's cooperating and setting people up, but does have my motherfucking life rights. Now, I'm hearing down the pipeline lawsuits could be coming to try to maintain some portion of the life rights. I'm not sure about the defamation. Some people are saying the defamation thing is in play, as well as holding him responsible again for the damages of the canceled concert. See, if it was anybody but 50 Cent, Big Meech would be able to tell them that it's easier to film a dynasty and it's harder to live one. But the interesting dynamic he has here is he really can't say that to 50. Because although 50's the executive producer of the shows, and he's one of the big feet as it pertains to that industry, at least for us, he built a dynasty prior to even heading that way. So that conversation don't hit the same if it was a white man doing Meech like that, even without the slander. So let's say a white man has, let's say, Tupac rights. Maybe we can rally to see if there's any loopholes in the contract. But who am I kidding? This culture don't fight for Pac. They don't fight for nobody. So this culture don't give a fuck who got your life rights. They just want to hear the stories. So who am I kidding? Nobody's gonna rally behind none of these people in getting their life right. So most likely the life rights conversation is dead. If Tammy Cohen did indeed get the signature to the life rights and 50 Cent got them, and there's no loopholes in it, it's done. Which I don't foresee any loopholes. It went probably through all the checks with stars being behind it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there may be a legal loophole somewhere that's missed with this life rights conversation. And maybe Meech wants to have that conversation because at this point 50 can just crush his brand. He can just crush the show. And then I need you guys to understand, if I have your life rights, you can't do a movie or anything. I have your life rights. Unless you carved it out in the contract that you have the mini series, we still have the rights to do a movie. I haven't heard of any conversation that that's the case, so I would lead to believe that 50 Cent owns both all exclusive life rights for Big Meech. And so that's going to be extremely hard for him to wiggle out of that. And also suing may make him look a certain way. They already got certain allegations on him. Also, I want to be clear with rappers. Y'all need to start using the sue button. Don't let these people in this image thing trick y'all. The sue button is a very powerful button for powerful people. Don't be afraid to use it. It's business. It ain't no police shit. I want to say that as a big dog and a nigga that'll sue one of these companies if they get wrong. I definitely want to put that on the record. Let's deal with the text message that Lil Meech sent 50 Cent. I think this is a very interesting time in Lil Meech's life, right? His dad has been gone for a very long time. He's have to develop and grow up without the presence of someone that he probably hears so much about. This great person, this hustler, this street legend, this person that he plays in a TV show, but he hasn't been able to spend a lot of time with him and develop in a way where he really knows him. And so I can imagine him well before he got into business with 50 Cent that he grew up on 50. You know, in our younger years, especially Meech younger than me. So in his younger years, I would imagine that 50 Cent was one of the people that he saw rise to fame and had a certain element about him that reminded him from where he come from, or at least where they say his father came from. And some of the elements that the rappers talk about shine bright in some of the behaviors that his father may have left behind. Some of the strip club activities, you know, some of the houses, some of the young black men getting money. He probably developed in a way where he heard so much about what his father left behind. But running into 50 Cent in his father's absence, I would say 50 Cent filled the void. But 50 Cent is a cancer, and the energy from a cancer is it's captivating, but it's catastrophic if it's emotionally triggered. 50 Cent being someone that I look at and say, yo, you seen along the years, yo, he had scenarios with his son, yo, get away from me, that's dead, that's over with. Again, this we dealing with a man that's been shot, probably looked over a few things prior to getting shot. Oh man, them niggas ain't talking about it. Boom, they hit me. Oh, I ain't never looking over nothing no more. Everything is serious. Now my outlook changes. I've been hit 9 times, close to death. Right, all you niggas willy-nilly, all you Leon the peons, little boy Larry, y'all can walk around and just, you know, nose in the air. You know what I'm saying? You ain't having no you don't have a radar or a realistic outlook on danger or what can take place because it never took place in your vicinity, so you don't view it the same. 50 Cent being someone that I say come from a place where, yo, this shit is everything or nothing. So bumping into Lil Meech, somebody that he probably treated like a son, he embraced him, sent him to acting school. The Big Meech story was valuable without 50 Cent, but 50 Cent being in that position at that time with that network, with that budget, on fire, after power, there was not a better scenario for that story to be in. And so I guess I'm speaking to how Lil Meech probably felt around 50. He probably felt like 50 was a real gangster, a real leader, a father figure, a businessman, an entrepreneur, a rich black man. You dig? Got a certain reverence for 50. His father come home and get with Ross, and Lil Meech is looking for a sequel and end up with a standoff. 50 Cent unfollows Lil Meech. He had an onslaught, a high activity, an ambush of Instagram posts, sneak disses, slanders, and roasts at Big Meech. And so now Lil Meech hit 50 up. Because this the same 50 Cent he been rocking with for a long time. He may don't understand the art of war. He don't come from a background where he gotta be guards up, antennas up. You dig? He get laid back and he done got rich at a young age. He waiting on the next season. Other roles, he locked in with Big Phil. Fifth got a budget on 5 different networks. He probably see his future, right? He's seeing it a certain way now. He sends a text to 50. The text reads, "They just told me you unfollow me on Instagram. And now you're managing Skilla Baby." Shout out Skilla. We rock it when I brought him around you first when you didn't even have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I only showed you love and loyalty in human form. I go through my own shit, but I never switched on you. Fuck Ross. But he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. I ain't gonna lie, a little bit of me. If Meech came home sharp and I thought he was a sharp nigga, you know, it seemed like he making certain kind of moves. He ain't as sharp as he probably need to be operating at the level they trying to put him at. Cause they trying to put him at a level where it's high level thinkers up through there. You got to know how to, you dig what I'm saying? You got to know how to weave in and out of traffic and make the right decisions in pressure situations. And you got to be able to think your way to the next step and outthink your opponent. You got to be able to navigate in this water, because if you don't, man, you'll lose everything. You up here with high thinkers, man. Everything is on the line up here. And it's all mental gymnastics and mental jujitsu. It's all wit against wit. It ain't bronze against bronze, it's brains against brains, right? A little part of me said, I wonder, was this a play of Meech saying, hey, let's try to get back in with him. That we're tell him it ain't nothing. We gonna try to patch it up with him, be cool, but we still gonna get away from him. Your daddy home now. We gonna be all right. I'm gonna get it straight. But let's keep that money rolling in. So send him this kind of message. I was wondering if it's that kind of play. Nonetheless, it wouldn't have worked either way, because 50 the kind of nigga where he understand, yo, I'm going at your daddy, nigga. No way I can be cool with you. Man, what kind of low level thinking nigga y'all think I am? Well, I'm going at your father and I'm gonna be cool with you. That seemed like a play. If I'm 50 Cent and a nigga son, I'm going there with Meech son, and it, man, even though we live in a day and age now, and this ain't even about Lil Meech, but on God, we live in a day and age now where a family member go against a family member for a nigga with an opportunity for him. Nigga, blood will go against blood for an opportunity. Loyalty will burn over opportunity. Nigga will go against nigga no loyal to him for opportunity. That's why you got people going to sit at the radio when you got blog pages and people that's fighting for artists every day, fighting for causes every day. That's why the president, when they come to the city, guess where they go? They go see the grassroots motherfuckers. They also go see CNN, but they make sure to stop over here at the grassroots. Luckily for me, I'm in position where I'm like a CNN, so I'm gonna be alright either way. We'll get to that in a minute. This text message from Lil Meech, if it wasn't a play, it was just a young man in his emotions. Even if 50 wanted to be cool with Lil Meech, it couldn't happen. And Lil Meech don't understand that. I hate that 50 took that route with him, because the little nigga got love for him. You see what I'm saying? But he trying to show his dad, I'm crushing you. You know, he trying to prove a point to his father, and he using his son as a pawn in this situation. I hate he done that to him, and the little nigga look up to him. You get what I'm saying? But what I will say about Lil Meech is he don't really understand that It ain't no in between like that. You know, and hopefully his father maybe can understand that. I know if it was me, it would have crushed me. You know, if one of my kids, I feel like you going against me for these dudes. You know, and Meech can't fault him as much as he would like to, because again, he's been absent. And an absent father can't raise his voice at a child that love what he loved. The things that a child indulge in, an absent father ain't got no business raising his voice about. Now the one that was there scratching and clawing and told him to go left and he went right, he can sit there with his lip poked out and he can pitch a bit. But you niggas that ain't never done nothing, that ain't never led the way and led the pack, you niggas better shut your motherfucking mouth when the kid go wandering off trying to figure out where to eat at. I don't want to hear you niggas mumble a word when that little boy wandered off and try to figure out how to come back with some food when you niggas ain't never led the way. You been absent fathers. You been absent. Fuck you expect him to do? He want to lock in with a nigga that's right, respectfully. And I don't see a world where Big Meech can be mad about this. But Lil Meech don't know how much faith to have in his father in 2025. He don't know what his father gonna do with his hustle in 2025. He don't know what his father can do outside of what he was arrested for. You see what I'm saying? He don't know what do it look like outside of that. What we doing outside of that. So that's why he wanna be locked in with 50. 50 know what to do in 2025. 50 know how to work around in these buildings and still remain who he is, true to himself, like him or not. So he's been able to cultivate a category in a very niche market, in this space where people don't have the cachet to be able to communicate in these boardrooms in a way where they can get a check cut. This nigga can get shit green lit that's about some of the most horrendous acts. He's in a very unique position. And so of course Lil Meech want to be locked in with him. Why wouldn't you want to be? But it would have broke my heart as Big Meech to feel this. But he has to understand that as you grow, your child has confidence in your driving skills because they've been in the car with you a million times. They maybe have some confidence and a little equity in your jump shot because they've been to the gym with you. Right? They may know that you have the ability to talk a free meal at the restaurant when we head up here because they've saw you in action. But if you've been absent, how much faith do they really have in? All they got is stories of what people said you was, and you was a mean hustler, and you can really get some money, and you might have done something behind bars, and they got some equity in knowing your story is worth some money. But I want Big Meech to have some compassion for Lil Meech and a mistake like this. You see what I'm saying? Although I know it hurt, and I know it come from a real interesting place because it'll hurt my heart. But I want you to know you've been gone long enough to separate the boy from his faith in you. See, a lot of daddies don't know just because the little nigga still know your face and he know what you look like and he know your birthday. Yeah, but you've been absent so long, you done separated the faith from the family. The boy ain't got no faith in you. Yeah, he know your name, but he ain't got no faith in what you gonna do or what can you do or what you bring to the table or why his mama didn't stay with you. When a young boy is young and he thinks his father is a bad motherfucker, that's one of the first questions he come and ask you. What happened? Why you and my mama didn't work? Because man, I know if we was all together, boy, that'll be a. And you see them kind of marvel at the opportunity for it to be that. But what I'm saying is there's a twinkle in your kid's eye as they see you throughout the years of them developing, conquer things, moving houses, getting new cars, getting new jobs, maintaining this, scratching for that, clawing for this. They believe in you and they have faith in you that they know that you'll get it done like you got it done before. And I think Meech needs to have some compassion for Lil Meech as he works through this. Let me do a brief hit on the Big Meech allegations of, ratting all these people got these assumptions and these angles that they're taking, approaches as they speak about this scenario. I have not pulled the paperwork. I do, based on what I was looking at today, I do see where there was a Frank's hearing, and it showed that Tammy Cohen said that she was interested in getting Big Meech's time cut. She then later came back to retract that statement on the record after Meech said he didn't want to be involved in whatever she got going on. The parallels that people are drawing is, how did a woman who is in this scenario that is working for the government end up with your life rights? And on a stand saying that I'm willing to cooperate if we could cut Big Meech's time, and there is a certain thing called third party cooperation. If you have not seen my interview with Terrence Gangster Williams, we spoke about third party cooperation. He said you can give information to anybody at any time, any law enforcement, and they'll write a letter to get your time cut. I had already been familiar with the third party cooperation and kind of what it meant, because me and Terrence Gangster Williams had spoke about it. While the culture was searching for a motive as to why Tammy Cohen will be on the stand or cooperating, because there is a motive when these people cooperate. A lot of people were drawn to the fact that she didn't need money, and some people are saying that she became an informant to get Meech a lighter sentence. I have a question. What do y'all expect Big Meech to do when a snitch got his life rights? If he's anti-snitch and he's in jail for life, he got 15 more years. And let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Again, I don't know which way he go. I don't co-sign nothing because I don't care about nothing. I'm a scholar. I don't even do the street shit. I give a nigga 1,000 milligrams a game a week. I don't really talk no street shit. I'm talking business and $1 million deals, right? But I'm gonna give y'all 1,000 milligrams a game on this here. Where do you stand? Let's say Big Meech didn't tell her to cooperate. She done it on her own. She trying to work some kind of move, which this could be something that she later comes out and say, who knows? What do you do when you are notified the lady you gave your life rights is now cooperating with the government? I think when you rewind that, the question still remains, why does she have your life rights and not be a power of attorney? But if you're in a scenario where this woman who has read it has your life rights, you got to find a way to work with her. You can't walk off on your life rights. This is a good place to put yourself in to have plausible deniability as well, because you can always act like, listen, oh, I can't not do business with her. She got my life rights. Shit worth 15 million. I can't not fuck around with her. I think the loud part of what Big Meech is gonna go through it as it pertains to all of this is over with. I think he's gonna be okay if he just keep his head down and watch the moves that he's making and not play into the narrative and keep it going. But with 50 owning his life rights, what else can he do? Let's explore what Big Meech can do while 50 have his life rights. Can he write something? Can he write another urban story similar to his and promote and market it like The Real Story? For example, call it The Real Story by Big Meech. Don't say nothing about BMF. Can he do something like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Again, there's so many ways that lawyers are going to figure a way to work around some of this. If it's worth enough money, they'll buck it and make him have to spend some money to get it right, which I think 50 is that petty. He gonna spend the money. There's another reason why I don't think anyone wants to be super quick to endorse it and invest in it from a corporate standpoint, is they know it's gonna bring some heat from 50. He gonna start posting about you negative shit online until somebody sue him. And a couple of these niggas done talked about suing him. We'll get to Joe Budden threatening to sue 50 Cent here in a second. I do want to talk about this though. Ralo has continued to mention Big Meech and Young Scooter. I want to deal with him as he speaks to DJ Akademiks. For those who do not know, Ralo is a rapper from Atlanta. He got locked up for a long time. There's been some allegations on him as well. He's walking around, moving around, trying to clear his name. There's been a lot of people saying that he did some sort of trick he tried to run. But there's been some paperwork, and also transcript provides some details where Brian Steele, the famous lawyer from Young Thug's trial who represented Ralo as well, once said something to the tune of, if we can't suppress this paperwork or this hearing, this would do a great detriment to Ralo, his status, and his rap friends of the community, or something to that effect, which led people to believe, was he in there speaking to the police about other rappers? Because for Brian Steele to know that or say that, I guess it's fair to ask, like, all right, what other rappers would be upset with what Ralo may have said? And I think that's a fair question. Also, I want Ralo to know this. Yeah, you cool with Brian Steele, but I think Brian Steele may be cool with certain people enough to let them know, now, hey, I ain't gonna say exactly what happened, but yeah, stay away from bro. Or, nah, he good. Brian Steele can clear it up. Why you ain't somebody get Brian Steele to clear it up? But we gonna keep Brian Steele out of this. That's my guy, man. You know, allegedly for Brian Steele, that's my guy. I want to look at Ralo speaking to DJ Akademiks about his paperwork. Pay attention.
Was irrelevant to any criminal investigation conducted by the agency. By the way, this is DA. Specifically, the information given did not help the United States. I mean, that's the exonerating line, right? Specifically, the information given did not help the United States to identify nor locate the individuals mentioned in the illegal narcotics trafficking described above. I mean, I'll continue reading the rest, but I mean, I'll stop it there because we're gonna get to, and I've seen, right. And I think I even defended you. I said, listen, I could understand being in a box and feeling like you stood tall, and then people saying you're the snitch.
Right.
And when you came out, I could tell you wanted everyone who put that out there to not only be as loud with the apology, but to have some accountability to that, right? That line is, and by the way, you know, we have the official paperwork here. That line would tell me, it basically means you did not help with the investigation of anybody.
Right.
And if anything, you just lied to these motherfuckers. Right? The facts in this information given from my personal observation and my training experience, and the information obtained from Davis. And by the way, this report, I would think, would tell them that they can't give you no deal because you're hindering the process more than you're trying to help them, right? My training experience and the information obtained from Davis, having read and considered through this federal criminal investigation conducted by the FBI, it lacks credibility. Davis said his plug, aka his drug supplier, was dead, which led him into drug trafficking marijuana on two separate occasions. 16th of October 2017, then October 26th of 2017, a Federal Bureau of Investigation confidential human source purchased heroin inside Pakistan from a known fam goon. During the sale of the heroin, the confidential source was told the heroin came from Davis. So there was somebody telling on you.
Right. It was a lot of people telling on me. I got that documentation. I just ain't never put that out there.
So how do you feel when people then say you told? When you have the actual paperwork that's saying,
I mean, people put that paperwork, like my co-defendants and stuff have put that documentation out. You smell me? But nobody just refused to read it. It's like you shouldn't even went in that room playing with them folks. You smell me? Like you should never made it juicy for them at all. You smell me?
That's what I hear, right? So I hear some people who are saying, well, maybe we don't got the paperwork on who he because these days they'll be like, yeah, we don't got the paperwork on who he told on. We might not know who he told on, but the mere fact that he even talked to them people, that's telling.
Right.
There's some people that go with that narrative.
I don't understand that. I always lied to the police.
Let me speak about that a little bit. And also, always when I speak about these topics, I want to be clear. I'm above the street talk. I'm a scholar. I don't honor none of this shit. This is bullshit talk. but I do want to speak to it because it's happening simultaneously while I'm hustling in our culture, and I always want to put something on the ground for a hungry hound. Now, Ralo sit next to Akademiks, which has limited understanding on any legal process, any understanding of any of these things. He don't have a nobody he can even get on the phone. Like, I got guys right now in the feds that I can hit. Hey, I got this right here. Tell me what going on with the paperwork. It say this. It say that. And I got Muslim brothers that love and respect Ralo, that will be truthful and honest with Ralo in the event that that's what need to take place. Considering that truth lives above feelings in all circumstances. But I want to be clear, I got enough knowledge about the legal process in our judicial system to know that there's a couple of different things that we can speak to right now. And I don't want to speak to these in reference to Ralo because I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't got time to look into it. I'm hustling and ain't really interested. But I do want to be clear. There's a scenario where you can give information and then the police turn around and act like the information wasn't no good. For an example, I interviewed Terrence Gangsta Williams and I pressed the line on him a little bit about telling. One thing I respect about Terrence Gangsta Williams is that he gonna stand on the fact that, yo, I wanted to get out here. I ain't trying to act like I did what I did. I was who I was before that. Like, you dealing with the two-faced man. I got 2 lives. I'm on my 3rd life now. I lived a life as a gangster. I live a life as a rat. Now I'm living a life as a civilian. Because the whole time he was in there telling, he never fucking got out. As I got into the story and now I listen back to our conversation, he was giving information for years. And he just got out from a totally different law. All the information Terrence Gangsta Williams was giving the government along the time that he was locked up, the government deemed a lot of it not useful, or at least not enough to get him out of jail. Maybe useful in the right to close a case, maybe useful as it pertains to making an arrest somewhere, or, you know, again, closing a file. But it wasn't enough to get him out. He ended up getting out from the First Step Act. So all that telling all them years and getting sneaked out of the jail and he going in here telling them shit didn't amount to nothing. Another trick that the police do. Let's say you're someone that's in a scenario to be under investigation as a hustler, as someone that may be moving meth, that they call ice nowadays. Let's say that they say, when I meet him, I usually buy 3 ounces of ice every Tuesday. In the event that you meet with the police and you only buy 1 ounce of ice on a Friday, they can now say this ain't useful. Hey, we using this against you. We didn't get nothing from that. Whole time they done tapped his phone. They know he got the ice and they know he'll move with it. So they make an arrest at a different date, not from your information primarily, because it was off a little bit, but you led me in the right direction. I've saw this, homie. I've saw it. Right? Say, man, I can probably get a 4.5 from him. All right, they give you the money for a 4.5, or you try to go get in a 4.5. It's a slow day. I ain't got number 2.25. You come back with 2.25. Your story didn't align. Therefore, it's not useful as it pertains to getting time cut off your sentence. I'm sorry. But the fact that you told us what jets they be using, and maybe you did tell us the area that the growers were in. Maybe you bullshitted us on the names of the people doing, but maybe we got the route from you. See, that's what people know. That's why a lot of these street niggas is like, hold up though, Ralo. Explain to us what, make Brian Steele keep it real under oath about this shit then, if it mean that much to you. Because niggas' minds will get to wondering like, hold on, even what Akademiks just read off, it didn't say he didn't give any information. It said the information he gave was not useful. And again, they'll play a game with a to try to make them give something stronger. and nail him to the cross if he don't, and still go arrest him, nigga. They dealing with it with Big Meech right now. If you pay attention, what they're alleging is Tammy Cohen got with Cuffy. Cuffy ended up getting arrested, but because Tammy Cohen was having an affair with the federal agent, whatever her agreement was null and void. They threw it out the window. They still arrested Cuffy from the phone taps. So although her and the federal agent who had an affair, both of y'all X'd out, we still got information from going that route. We tap Cuffy, we go get Cuffy. This is how they move as a unit when we talking about the police and some of the tactics. So let's be clear that people are not saying that your name has to be in paperwork saying that you told on such and such, and we went and got 4.5 bricks out his house and such told us where to go get it from. No, your name is in paperwork offering information. That's basically what niggas saying. And you tried to run a play, so you got to keep trying to clear that up. But your name in paperwork didn't ever mean that they gonna keep it real and tell us everything you said to them. Terrence Gangsta Williams tell me right today, yo, Birdman them don't fuck with me cause I say I told on some dead people, but nigga, how they know? I'm telling them I did such and such, but how they know when the paperwork can't never tell a nigga exactly what's going on or what they got or what they done? Maybe an agent can, but why would they play the game against themselves like that? These niggas coming out the feds will tell you, man, I interviewed Terrence Gangsta Williams that told for 10 years and never got no time cut. Was telling shit for 10 years. All of a sudden, the First Step Act come and they put a play together to get out and press the line and press the issue. Man, I have been working with y'all. Come on now. But whole time he telling, they keep sending him back to the jail. Yeah, nah, that ain't really. Look how they were doing Woody. Yeah, that really ain't. Yeah, we can't yeah, nah, so we ain't gonna act like that. There's not a scenario where you can give information and the police will play it if it don't line up to the T, right? Again, 4 ounces, it wasn't but 2 ounces. Nuh-uh, that wasn't good enough. You said 4 ounces. You said he would have 400,000 in there. He only had 100. That ain't These is, I imagine they playing these kind of games. They greedy. They want all. They trying to squeeze it all out of you. And guess what? The police won't even tell on each other. So if the police partner smack you in the face and hit you with his baton, he ain't gonna tell on his partner, but he'll deal with you telling on yours. Pay attention to some more.
Over for a fucking ticket. I'm trying to figure out, like, I wasn't speeding. You can have a girl to say you were going 70 miles.
We're going 85 right here. What's up?
Nah, man, that shit. Nah, I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been that. Like, I don't understand why people, like, even when Jay was right there, I tell her, please, like, read the whole thing. Like, don't just read one page. You telling me, okay, I went in here on page 8. You saying I went in this motherfucker and information was given, right? On June 6th. Of 2018, which was 7 years ago, right? Now read the rest. Now I just want to worry about it. We trying to worry about page 8. Now read the whole motherfucking thing, because we all know some things can start bad and end well. You smell me?
By the way, I'll read this last part too. It says, through my training experience and education, I've become familiar with the manner in which members of criminal enterprises communicate to use trickery schemes to downplay their roles in crimes. Mr. Davis refused to answer questions on or about April 17th, 2018, after being found in the cargo bay of the airplane with the product marijuana on board. So once again, they're basically saying that even when they caught you with it and it's surrounding you refuse to give any information about it. I mean, it gotta bother you that it takes this for motherfucker. And this I remember you on live saying, I'm gonna pull up on you. I want y'all to do some reading. And it don't seem like a lot of people were down to do reading.
Yeah, nah, I would tell them, let's go to the courthouse. Like, we can go out here and get my PSI, my transcripts from my sentencing transcripts. I would tell them we can go get my I got some more shit in here called it's called statement of reasons. It show you whether you got a 5K1 or whatnot. And I was telling them, like, let's go to the courthouse. We can go out here and we can get this same documentation printed up. Although all this documentation was sitting in our discovery, of course. But I'm like, okay, yeah, motherfucker, let's go to this courthouse and see this. And I even told Jay, like, Jay, why the hell we just read page 8? Like, let's read all the pages.
I've never seen somebody.
See, here's where it can feel like we're trying to be deceptive. Because again, Akademiks, you know, I'm not sure, maybe he doesn't have the intellectual wherewithal to keep up with the conversation, right? But for someone's paperwork to have a 5K1, it just means the prosecution has filed a formal request, formal being the operative word. That does not mean you didn't give information. That means they didn't do their part if there was an agreement. Sometimes you give information for nothing. Sometimes niggas give information in the heat of the moment. There's niggas snitched in on crime scenes and things like that, right? And so the 5K1, again, is a formal request. This usually happens before sentencing. The Rule 35 happens when you're locked up. That's when you go tell. That's what Terrence Gangster Williams was doing, the Rule 35. He was going to tell why he was locked up. Like, hey, here goes some information. And he explained that third-party cooperation shit. But for Ralo, giving information and granting the 5K1, there's a lot of room in between that. And again, I think the reason Jay was focused on that page when Brian Steele said, if we let this out in the community, is because people that she know from that community, probably high profile rap nigga, has probably been telling her, man, this sentence right here is what got me. Anything else, fuck it. You trying to run a play, fuck it. But when Brian Steele come out and say, yo, if these rap niggas find out what he said, this ain't gonna. Basically, this is what Brian Steele saying. If the rappers find out in this community what Ralo has said to y'all, it wouldn't do well for his career or his safety. This is what Brian Steele said in the paperwork. So I want to give some grace to Jade with her trying to figure that part out. Because if you ask me, some real niggas probably came to her about that part. And they're really probably trying to get to the bottom of, yo, what's going on with this, though? Did you say anything about these rap niggas, man? All these niggas fuck with you? Man, we done saw stranger things now. Let's keep it 100. Again, I don't know. I ain't saw Ralo paperwork. Again, if you tried to run a move, that's where you make a mistake. All that I'm trying to make it juicy for him and do, that's the mistake. That was the mistake. I also want to lay some ground rules for people who don't understand. Sometimes you're going to have to talk to the police. Like if a shooting happened on my property, or I shoot a nigga, sometimes we got to have a conversation with the police. Like, some of y'all understanding on what's happening in real life is so far from reality. It's astonishing to me. The shit started to be appalling to me. Like, I'm flabbergasted. I'm taken back. Like, I'm clutching my pearls when I think about it. Like, y'all niggas be that spaced out and burnt out. Y'all ain't really understanding. But I'm gonna give you 1,000 grams of game. Pay attention. Let's listen to a little more.
Bring the whole discovery. Like I felt like you went above and beyond. But let's talk about, you know, the subsequent, you know, you going to jail. How did that case play out? Did you take it to trial? Did you take a plea? What were you looking at? What was the mindset in even doing that?
I mean,
because you're caught red-handed too, right?
I'm caught red-handed. So actually, when I went in that proffer, my lawyer ended up being determined to be a conflict of interest because they saying the forms that I was in Cali was registered him in his name. You smell me? So they already knew that these fucking forms, but I couldn't prove beyond reasonable doubt that they knew. But if in fact that they did know and they walked me into a problem.
Realist, yo, you're all one of them too.
Right.
And shoot, you know, again, when it comes to especially the media, and this is why I think you've learned the power of speaking for yourself.
Right.
Where, because if one person's saying Ralo did A and you don't say nothing, the people gonna look at it and be like,
he said,
Ralo did do that shit.
And I think that also, like, it's almost like a nigga that's in death row. Like I said, like, he fighting for his life and he know he ain't did shit. Like, nigga, I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my reputation. I think that that's the worst shit you can be called. You smell me? So like, you put me in a lineup with niggas that really told. I might see my name there to some niggas that really told. Like, dudes that saying they incarcerated for these individuals, and I just didn't never know that it was a crime or against the code to lie to the feds. Like I just didn't. I still don't get that. But with that being said, if y'all got these type of rules in the game, I just don't want to be a part of it. You smell me? If I can't goddamn pay a nigga to take a charge, or I can't lie to the motherfucking police, or I can't buy my way, like I don't want to be a part of this shit. Like what the hell kind of game y'all? And I won. You know, I won on an ultimate level. I probably made 20-30 million out of the dope game. You smell me? Like, how the hell could a street punk or a peon tell me how to play the game and they ain't even won the game?
Majority of things in life is better to be liked than to be right, because people pick and choose.
Right.
If they like you, even if you do wrong, they make it right.
Right.
When they don't like you, you could do right, it's gonna be wrong.
Exactly.
And I heard even you basically saying, y'all niggas do pick and choose, because you know there was an outrage. I felt like they were ready to come with the tiki torches for you. Like, nah, let's get his reputation and everything with him to put him as that. And then when you debunked a lot of stuff, I didn't hear too many apologies. I heard quietness. Right?
That shit crazy.
And even now with this current situation, which I think everyone's talking about, this Big Meech stuff, which I mean, I still don't even know exactly what's the facts is, but it felt like people are they're more understanding, or they'll speak out less against him. With you, it was more like, yeah, whatever y'all said that did, he probably did that shit, man. Does that make you feel away? Because that's picking and choosing.
100%. Like I just feel like you picking and choosing. Like if he, of course, he got an allegation on him. I mean, you know, everybody in the world keeps saying I'm going against mom, sleep this, and my only thing was I seen some of my real friends on that flyer. I seen some of my 100% friends, and I ain't no hate shit like that. But if you gonna do this shit to me, do it to him.
Did you see any of your real friends really switch up on you though?
Hell yeah, you don't see them fucking with me like that. Like you don't see that shit like broad like we used to be. You smell me? Like they love me. Like I ain't gonna take it from them. Like young Scooter, that my dog. I love him to death. That my whole heart. But nigga, don't love me privately. Love me publicly. You smell me? And I get the saying shit. Oh, you start speaking on a nigga name? No, hell no. I seen the name on that motherfucking flyer. Why is your name on there if you don't fuck with so-called rats? You smell me?
Did that shit hurt you in the sense of, damn, like if it was anybody supposed to get the benefit of the doubt, if you weren't clear, it was supposed to be me, not somebody else.
I can't even say that, because the honorable dude 42 Dugg, what he did, I really was like, hell yeah. 42 Dugg said, nigga, y'all gotta show me what Meech told. Y'all gotta show me the nigga he told on right now. Show me the paperwork. That's what I want my nigga to do.
Yeah.
Why Scooter ain't saying, hey, come here, show me the nigga that's in jail for Ralo? You smell me? Like, why? Like, or you ain't even gotta do it in front of the whole world if you're not an internet niggas. Come to me and be like.
Again, let me give Ralo the other side to that. Number one, let me address the fact of 42 Dugg and Big Meech. I think their scenario is a bit different. When he said show me Big Meech's name in paperwork, Ralo, I think you got it mistaken when they showing you your name in paperwork. Your defense is, yo, my name in paperwork, but nigga, I went in there and I just made it juicy for him. So what you asking them to do, they really done. So now what you asking for is for niggas that you know and fuck with to give you the benefit of the doubt to know, yeah, Ralo probably didn't go in there and give him nothing. I'm giving you the logic of young Scooter or probably niggas like that. Just so Ralo can answer this, and maybe this can clarify some things so your homies maybe fuck with you, or you can clarify your position. The question now becomes, if you're taking the approach that 42 Dugg took, which is I need to see Meech's name in paperwork. All right, Jade and them had a piece of paper that your name was in paperwork. Now, you're asking for the benefit of the doubt from people that you know, like you know my body, you know how I'm cut. I ain't get them no information. So the new question from the people that know you on that level could be, well, if that's the case, why would Brian still ask for them to seal it? And if it came out, it'll hurt your rap credibility and your safety. That's the scenario that you're in, that you boxing your way out of. And so you're gonna have to move around for a minute with that shit and trying to explain like what's going on. That's number one. Number two, I can feel Ralo pain. Just picture if you did go in there and you really didn't say nothing. You really didn't give them folks no information. You made a mistake going in there, but I really didn't tell them folks nothing. I went and done all that time. I didn't tell them folks nothing. I know that shit'll be heavy on a nigga, or a nigga ought to be broke. But bruh, you cannot force nigga to be your homeboy. You don't know them niggas 5, you been gone 6-7 years. Them niggas might have cut off way more powerful niggas than you for shit like that. Might have quit talking to their cousin, they daddy, they uncle, they little brother about some shit like that. In real beat, you don't know what scenario niggas in about shit like that, and you just saying forgive me in the public, forgive me. Yo, bro, hold on. Like, you doing too much. Like, a nigga love you, you done what you done, but a nigga ain't trying to be on all of that, bro. You can't force no nigga to be your homeboy. This is what I be saying. A lot of niggas be looking desperate. That's why I didn't like Big Meech showing up in a car show t-shirt. Like, you ain't got no business. Even if you gonna be with Ross, get some little paper from Ross, put him on the flyer. You shouldn't have had to put on no car show t-shirt and take no picture. Ralo don't got no business. Every time I look around, man, my friends ain't fuck, man, my friends ain't doing it. That be making me reconsider some of these interviews, how I be talking. Man, y'all niggas don't never look like I'm wounded over here. We doing good over here. We gonna talk about wins. All that old, man, they ain't my friend, they ain't fucking with me, man. You can't make niggas fuck with you, homie. They not giving niggas the benefit of the doubt. Brian Steele might have done snooking, allegedly, because I fuck with Brian Steele, and I'm only fucking with podcast lane. You know I love you, Brian Steele. But if Brian Steele was me, and I knew what happened, I'd be telling people I'm close with. You don't know if the information might have got out from other people who done read. You don't know what going on, what people might know. But all I know is at the end of the day, Ralo got to face the reality that niggas love him, niggas respect him, niggas think he was a mean hustler. But at the end of the day, he gonna have to clear his face. Like he gonna have to keep pushing to try to clear up and get that benefit of the doubt from niggas. People don't get that away nowadays, bro. It's too much sucker shit going on. You don't get a benefit of the doubt away nowadays. You dig what I'm saying? If it look like a duck and quack like a duck, I don't even gotta hear it sound like a duck. You hear me? I don't get a benefit of the doubt. I watch how you treat. Yeah, I see what's going on. I'm right. And unfortunately for people, they gotta deal with me being that aggressive and cutting such a hard line, cause life too short. Life too short to get in entanglements where you don't really know people's parameters and boundaries, and you don't know where to take it or where a nigga took it. Say, I'd rather stay on my own platform, on dealing with my own portfolio. You dig what I'm saying? Building my own playground. That's where I'd rather stand at. But Ralo has to face a harsh reality that they are dealing with your name in paperwork. You're asking for the benefit of the doubt, which is different from what 42 Dugg is doing. 42 Dugg is saying, show me his name in some paperwork. Like, if they came in there and said Big Meech name is in paperwork, he gave this or he done this, if it's in there, and then the lawyer came out and said, yo, we need to suppress this document because if this document gets out, it's gonna hurt Big Meech's career in his TV series, 42 Dugg never look at that different. So for people that love you, know you, and respect you in Atlanta, you got to get them the benefit of the doubt. And you got to know that you asking them to give you the benefit of the doubt. You ain't just saying, look at the paperwork, because if they look at the paperwork, it look funny. Not just your one page or not just the one page Jade had. If they look at their paperwork, it look funny, bruh. I give Ralo the benefit of the doubt. No direct arrest came from it. So we got to make sure that that's on the, we got to make sure to put that on the record. No direct arrest came from it. That don't mean no information came from it. Those of you in the streets know how this work. Akademiks don't know, because Akademiks is a streamer, so he wouldn't know. But giving the police information that lead to a direct arrest especially in a high profile case that's dealing with a bunch of kilos or a bunch of, come on, man. It don't even work like that. They be needing names. Who's the guy in the black car? And that's Tony, man. Y'all gonna let me out? That's Lil Tony. That's Loon. Loon be in the red car, man. You know, it's little things that connect the dots for them. Just pay attention. And again, I want to be clear with this. Loon ain't calling Ralo no rat. I ain't saw his paperwork. I'm telling him based on what he's saying. He got to understand the circumstances he in. My name gonna check out clean on every circumstance. Stamp that.
I heard this. Now tell me, what's your part? Like, what's going on? And then another thing, like, you gotta think about it. They want to know who this person is that's putting this play together. You want me to say this shit in the front of the whole world? Then a nigga really gonna be in jail for me. Then you smell me. So you really want me to snitch? You smell me? You want me to snitch on the nigga that's helping nigga or working they move? No, get what you could do. Akademiks or Jade or anybody, you ain't gotta do it on interview. You can just tell me, hey Ralo, who them people that busting that move? We can go to the side and I can talk to you like this the man, and we can call them and we can get some communication. Like, okay, this is the people, this is what going on. But don't ask me in front of the world who this page 8 is about. You can come talk to me and I'll show you. We can call them and we can handle the business, but I'm not finna put that business out there to the whole fucking world.
I seen Scooter comment under a post, and I think you basically was saying, like, you know, I haven't heard you say like that's not my homie no more, but you clearly are letting people know, yo, I do feel a way about it, but I do want to resolve it.
Righteous.
And I do like the fact that you vocalize that you feel a way about it, because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of times the accusation is way louder than when people have to come back and be like, nah, y'all niggas had it wrong. So, you know, even when you and Boosie had that little back and forth, I'm like, I can't really blame you, because this is how, if I'm someone new to the situation, now I'm knowing, oh yeah, this was lying on him, because before we only heard the accusation.
Right.
Where does it stand with even Scooter now, and even like say Boosie, because Boosie, I don't know, you see, Boosie was in a tough spot because he's a guy who's been really anti people who told. And I don't know if it was because he was caught up, you know, sometimes he's on Vlad a lot and they ask him a direct question, and I think a lot of times he's looking like he can't be in the middle on a situation, or he can't say I don't know, so he might say something that then later, you know, people use his voice very heavily. What's the situation with both those guys?
I think, you know, I pulled up on Boosie, we resolved it. You smell me? Like, I couldn't just keep doing all that old internet shit, so I had to pull up on him and we resolved it. I showed him what's going on, and you know what I'm saying, he kind of got an understanding from what I seen in front of me or whatnot. And you know, Scooter himself, like, I ain't really want to push up on Scooter on no shit like that, cause like I said on the blog, like, if we got a problem, let's fight or some shit like that. And they saying Ralo trying to fight Scooter. That ain't what the fuck I said. Like, usually bros be able to work shit out. You smell me? Like, you ain't even gave the benefit of the doubt. You ain't even pulled up and pulled my coattail. Like, before you go to the world or go to any nigga, any bitch, if I'm your man, come talk to me. You smell me? And so I really never know where he stand at with it. But you know, I was more.
Are you down to do maybe the same thing that you do with Boosie? I think like, hey, listen, let me pull up.
Boosie was a lot more toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was seeming like it was going extra left.
Yeah, so like,
did a third person get in between that, or
no third? Yeah, really? They told me where he was at, and we pulled up. You smell me? And it looked kind of crazy at the beginning, but you know, we was able to sit down like men. You smell me? And I wasn't ever coming on no. Oh, I'm trying to, you know, bully Boots or pull him like he a bitch. Now I never would say shout out a bitch ass nigga or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I probably did say that a couple times, but however, that ain't what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to shit on the man. I'm just saying, like, I pulled up on him in a way that I want to pull it up on my man. You smell me?
Yeah, because you don't know what it could have been, right?
Yeah, we could have been a whole lot. He would have been right.
Yeah, I was talking crazy online. I'm glad that got
So he didn't really catch that, Akademiks didn't, but let me speak to that. I think whatever percentage of the people that's still on Ralo's side is because he fighting for his name, right? There's something to be said about a nigga that's trying to fight for their name to make you at least be like, damn, but that nigga fighting for his fucking name, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it make you view it. It make you just watch him and look at it. But again, You know, he pull up on Boosie probably strong with a couple of niggas like, whatever this go, we go, man. But dude called me red 100 times like, we got to figure this out. Boosie hadn't publicly straightened that. He publicly straightened the T.I. thing. So I think I think the disconnect with Ralo is what I spoke to a few minutes ago, is that he needs for the people he want to work with and he love, and the Boosies and Scooters and all of them niggas, he need for them to give him the benefit of the doubt that he went in that room and he didn't say nothing. But if they been in the streets long enough, they're probably dealing with some results where dudes done gave information that did not lead to a direct arrest, but it was enough information to have them in the area where another bust could have happened, or something may have took place. You may have told them the route. You told them that, yo, they putting it in the tire. You ain't tell them who putting it in the tire, what car. They just know when you get a car and pull it over, now look in the tire. These are kind of scenarios where people can give information and not be necessarily in paperwork as a snitch. Again, understand that someone in the situation that Ralo is in, you get a 5K1. Again, the 5K1 is a formal request. So of course arrest got to be made for them to say he gave us information that helped lead to the arrest of such and such. But when someone is under investigation, you don't have to necessarily give them something that leads to an arrest to add to the investigation. And I think for Ralo, maybe he doesn't understand that people's mindset is living there. That's why people are kind of like, man, hold on, because Brian Steele said something. He kind of dog whistled to us. Brian Steele a real nigga, kind of dog whistled in that. Hey, the rap community, as much as he can say, because Klein Pretty, that's much he can give us. But he gave that little bit, something about the rap community, because he ain't had to say that. You see what I'm saying? But he's something about the rap community. Oh, whoa. People are going to have an adverse reaction to that. I wish Ralo the best. He has to understand that. There's no way around it. That's what he's working through. Let's see where he goes from here.